Greetings and salutations, everybody. Dan the Wolfman here for my MMA days, combative and street jiu-jitsu instructor on BJJ Fanatics. Look at all my playlists of my MMA martial arts days. But today I want to do a video on the non-myth of point shooting, because active self-protection extra Neo put out a video calling it the myth of point shooting. I feel that was a very disingenuous test, to say the least. He said it was 7 yards, but it looks like 5 to 6. He is taller than me. I think he's about 6'1". I'm 5'11". But calling it a myth is a little bit ridiculous. Now, he was doing a two-handed point extension. I call it shoulder point extension or slide focus if I'm going to kind of reference the front sight and maybe the box of a dot or not, something like that. And it kind of depends on distance, right? But to call it a myth is pretty disingenuous. At close range distance, I'm at 5 yards here. I could probably still do pretty good at 6. We'll see. Not saying don't use your sights. I'm saying there's instances where your first couple shots may be more instinctual. Point shooting, aka proprioception. As children, we've been pointing our whole lives. Like as a child, I want that over there. We kind of lose that. Back in the old days, people played games and they skipped rocks off rivers and, you know, things like that. They threw stuff to knock off bottles off fence. They point shooted their little 22 or BB guns off fence posts. We have lost, as humanity, a bit of our proprioception skills. We know where our spine and our belly button are, and so even in fighting, shooting, everything, we should know how to orient towards the target. So proprioception. Considering he had mics at such a close distance, he is a firearms instructor. His presentation should be that good. I feel like he was trying to say what he wanted to say instead of doing a test and showing it. So, point shooting, 5 yards and in, it is an important skill. But more important, I'm talking point shooting. We'll do the two-handed, what he did. I'm talking about when it's one-handed. I'm talking about when you just fell because a guy all of a sudden with a machete or a knife and you tripped running backwards on your draw. Point shooting. I'm talking about a cop at SWAT school that just survived an AK attack that killed his partner. He bailed out as the windshield explodes. I saw the video at SWAT school. He falls out, 1911, a natural pointer. I don't know if he got a front sight or not, but literally the guy's coming around the corner of the car, and as he just hit the concrete and cleared leather, you know, or whatever, he gets him. So non-traditional positions is more where point shooting is, but let's just test it. Point extension here, and so you know I am using really hot ammo, not PUD 115 like most YouTubers did. So I am armed security. I have been a guest through SWAT school. I do have active shooter training, things like that. I am almost 49 with lupus, so you know, keep that in mind. But yes, I was a former professional MMA fighter a few times. So we got a Taurus GX4 carry with a Gideon Judge. I have turned the green dot off. Judge 2, excellent dot. That's the only one of these that is a carry gun to me. And then a Taurus GX2, little small for my hands, a good natural pointer, good for most people. I have XL gloves. The excellent unheralded Arex Delta, not all pistols are mine. Arex Delta, this is a Gen 1, G19 size except 0.2 thinner, 2 ounces lighter. Probably one of the best efficient carry guns there are. And then this is the only one you might consider a full size, being the L, or the 17 size, again, thinner and lighter than a G17. Dots off, dots off. One pretty low. I'm not happy about that. It would be lower spine. But a little faster than I expected. 124 to first shot. And 20 space. I want them both in 175 A zone. So 150 to both shots. And that's a down one just outside here and one low, but would be on the spine. Let's not do that. Learning motion. I am trying to speed up my draw. I was worried this would happen. I got caught on my box. And pushed it out of battery too. Well, I didn't slow down. 126 the first shot, 148, 22 split. Again, super hot ammo. 148. Let's check the hits. All right, so here's the first two, not great. Honestly, not great. Here's the second two. I would call that pretty effective, as in amazingly effective. So that's pretty good. As I said, they might go high. This is hanging down or a short attacker. So there it was with the GX4. Let me switch out to the GX2 now. And these first two are Ayoob tactical holsters, then two Tolster holsters. This one's not a carry yet for me, so it's still got the plastic clip. I prefer the DCC monoblock. We'll see if that messes me up a little bit. But as far as speed, this is a quarter of a second faster than I thought it would be so far today. Okay. Let's check those hits. 122 to first shot, .24 split, 146 with a micro slash macro slash subcompact. Really good size for most people is the GX2. 122, 146. That's a line break. Those are down zeros, both pretty good in their right lung. Let's put those a little bit higher. 118 to first shot, 142 to second, 24 split with, again, very, very hot ammo, about 1,300 feet per second. Okay, two perfect right there. So got it done with the budget GX2. GX2 is a really good size, I think, for most people to conceal. The GX4 Carry is one of the most ergonomic pistols ever, though a little bit tall, so if you're a skinny boy, maybe the grip will print. It's a little tall for a 15-rounder, but excellent ergonomics on the GX4 Carry. Let's go to the RX Delta and the Tolster holsters right now. If you need a holster, get a Tolster. Use I'm Dan the Wolfman. I'm Dan the Wolfman. Here we go. All right, here we go with the RX Delta. I think they're amazing buys before they all leave the market. I checked about a month ago. I mean, some steals on them, and really a great size. I love the GX4 Carry for carry. This is even a little bit shorter, very efficient, rounds to capacity. Of that Tolster holster, Dan the Wolfman, R3D minimalist night sights, Dan the Wolfman. A little bit slower there, and I have a little more grip angle. Let's see where those are. Holy crap, I am going fast today. And it's the first time trying a shirt like this to cheat like everybody else, but it's actually UV blocker, so I should actually hit the range. 122 to first shot, 146, a 24 split. 2 shots, 146. Well, perfect. 2 shots on 146. Does point shoulder extension. I'm not even doing what I tend to do more is slide focus or kind of tunnel down, especially like a minimalist, black serrated rear, a big bright orange front, something like that. Like the minimalist access sights are excellent, guys. Dan the Wolfman. I'm not even really doing that. That kind of I use as a tunnel as I'm braking. I'm going faster today and really doing what they call point shooting. I'm doing point shoulder extension, or if I use a little more reference, slide focus, but at 146, perfect there. So maybe it's not a myth. And I'm lucky at my age, and I'm going to work on that today. Today's a go fast day for me to push the pace. 175 is what I say my standard has been. I'm going to lower that down to 165 at 7 or 8 yards to an A zone. But look, if point shooting buys me 0.25 seconds, a quarter of a second or more, this is more, I'm getting 0.50, a half second faster. At 5 yards and in, that might be really important as to why you're doing it, to get the first 2 shots on the guy. My grip was off. Look how low my hand is in the... I'm the only one here, and I'm down range. Look how low my hand was in the beaver tail. 124 to first shot, 22 split with super hot ammo, 146. Let's see if the lack of grip caused issues. And still no D-zone or down threes, okay, and no mics. That's very effective, and that's pretty effective. That's still his right lung, and that's, you know, good stuff right there in the pie, basically just a little high, just a scotch high, but, I mean, that's pretty effective hits. All right, here's the L, so kind of a full size, but again, 0.2 thinner. It's a 1.1 inch. So macros are typically 1 inch. This is 1.1. Full size and subcompacts are usually 1.3. The Delta is like perfect for carry. This is a long boy. None of these are my carry guns other than the GX4 Carry. Keep that in mind. Different grips, different grip angles a little bit. Though I did borrow this to go through SWAT school maybe 5.5 years ago. Dot is turned off. Dot is turned off. So, here we go. Boy, that felt pretty good. Oh, first time I was slow, 158. Maybe that longer barrel cleared in 128 and a 30 split. I guess I was trying to aim, make sure I was aligned. I don't know. I think I did, actually. So 128, 158 to both shots. And perfect here and here. That one's probably this, maybe the side of the heart. And right lung. A little slower with this pistol. 150, I guess not by much. 126 the first shot, 24 split. Again, with super hot ammo. 126, 24 split. 150 to 2 upper thoracic hits, we hope. 1 in the down 0, good. 1 low or second low shot of, what is it, 4 times, 4 shots. So 16 shots, 2 were low of the day. With the Eric's Delta. Oh, now with a hollow point like an HST, that would probably expand and actually nick the spine. And yeah, that's high enough. I probably got a drop out of that. That's another reason not to use FFJ. That pushes tissue out of the way. So active self-protection extra. Neil, is point shooting really a myth, or is it a skill that you should practice and be proficient with in case that is what happens? And often you're surprised in the DGU. The first few shots may be under 5 yards, at 3 yards, and then they according out. Look at gunfight statistics 1, 2, 3, and 4. John did a very good job on 4. 53% were past 7 yards. But the first 2, 3, 4 shots are often very up close and personal. Out of 16 shots, we did a double tap, 4 pistols, 2 times each. 11 were in the down 0. That counts as, it's not a myth, it's a skill you need to train. And I especially talk about like on 1 foot and sideways, and maybe you're in a car and you fell down, or a machete attacker and you fell on your butt. Point shooting is pretty important. 11 in the down 0, I include that because Gabe White would, and that's a shutdown right there. 5 were in the down 1s, but anatomically significant, anatomically significant, anatomically significant. The only 2 out of 16 I didn't like were the 2 low shots. So 14 out of 16, pretty darn good. I think we've proved point shooting is not a myth. If you look at Dan the Wolfman, point shooting, I've done other stuff on 1 leg, like I said, and one-handed, and I do a lot of bent elbow, and we're not doing bent elbow. You should be doing bent elbow because every law enforcement agency in the world thinks that's a pretty important skill, so maybe it is, okay? Proprioception, we know how to point. I'm not saying don't use your sights. I'm saying, and I really, this is without me kind of referencing and being 0.10 slower probably, to reference what I call a slide focus, or like doing a box guillotine method with a dot. And you put the top right on the neck and you're probably going to hit the chest. So point shooting is not a myth. It's an important skill that you should be practicing, including, like I said, 1 foot, sideways, unusual stances, all important stuff to practice, because you might end up in a non-traditional position. And that's why you do this and non-traditional positions, so you have confidence and more like skills that you've developed. You know where your belly button and spine are, and your nose are, your chin. These are all aligned. We know how to do this. Mammals, we're much better throwing rocks and stones and fighting in the Neanderthal days back in the day, and we've lost some of that, and you shouldn't lose it. You should be training it. It is a skill. Train it. It could save your booty. Please let me know what you think down below. I think we proved it's not a myth, okay? Let me know down below what you think. Please thumbs up, share, subscribe. Always subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Always comment. And I'll catch you mother lovers on the flip side. We're going to be doing more stuff today, working on our speed.